Hello and welcome to round 9 and 10 of the Thursday Night GT Championship from Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya. Well-renowned circuit for many drivers here. And we have got us with us Ben. Welcome back, Ben. Been away since the first race. How you doing?
Yes, but I seem to have been dragged back again. Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
So as I just mentioned, we're at the Circuit de Catalunya. You've raced here many times, Ben, in different series. What do you think of this circuit?
It's a really good circuit up until the part where you know I'm going to mention, which is the chicane before the last corner.
Yeah.
It's ruined the track, but ruins the flow of it. But other than that, it's a really nice flowing circuit. So plenty of corners to catch the drivers out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a track that's particularly well renowned for overtaking. Do you think this could lead to a couple of maybe rash lunges down the inside? Or?
Yeah, well, it's possibly in sprint race when you got faster guys trying to come through. We've seen it quite a few times this season. So yeah, it'll depend on people's patience and aggression levels.
Yeah. So let's just have a quick look at the track guide. Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona, Spain plays host to rounds 9 and 10 of the Thursday Night GT Championship. This 2.89 mile circuit has 16 turns, 9 right, 7 left. Built in 1991, this circuit has hosted many big races such as F1, MotoGP, and most recently the World Rallycross Championship. It has 140,000 seater capacity, so it's without doubt going to see a lot of people coming through the gates. But down into turn 1 you've got heavy braking, which is very good for overtaking, and a late lunge if necessary. Around turn 3 is a very long corner. Make sure you're patient on the throttle, but you don't want to have to lift out of that throttle because you will lose time. Carry your speed through turn 4 and then into a tight hairpin turn 5, maybe a lunge there. Now come up to the faster section of this track, coming back up the hill after dropping down. Turn 7, 8 and 9. Try and carry as much speed through there as possible. It does invite a lot of speed, but if you're unwise you're going to be vulnerable into the hairpin at turn 10. Another good place for overtaking. Now a tricky uphill section, turn 11 and a long turn 12, and then into the Mickey Mouse section, which everyone hates, around into a long last corner. Hook this up and without a doubt you're going to be on for a good time. Adele won here last season, Ben, in the wet. How do you reckon he's going to get on this season?
Well, it's not wet, so we know that for a fact because it'll be the first of the dry races after Imola's freak storm. It'll be more difficult for him for sure because we're not in the fastest of cars. And the Bentleys and the BMW M3 seem to be coming on song now. They seem to be getting to grips with those cars. So we will see, but he's always got a chance in the rough. It's a good, fast starting car. So it looks after its tyres, and tyre wear is pretty crucial around this track.
Yeah, I mean, you were second last season as well, so you know how to get a quick time.
Yeah. I mean, that was in an Aston Martin. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And it was, again, like you said, it was wet. But yeah, Dale was flying here last season, so let's hope he can repeat it.
Yeah, and obviously being a track that most of the drivers probably have raced around before, it should be a very close weekend.
Yeah, you'll see battles throughout the field without any shadow of a doubt. And like I say, the field's starting to close up rapidly now with people really getting to grips with their cars and learning their teams. So we'll see a pretty close pack, I would have thought.
Yeah, so let's see what happened in the feature race. The drama of round 9 started before even the green lights went out, as Bajny and Pren were inseparable from the start. However, it was Dominic who started on pole, and he got an excellent start as he drove away from the field down into turn 1. It was a clean start throughout the pack as the BMWs and the Roughs followed in close proximity. A little bit later on, Dean had a moment going into the Mickey Mouse section of the track, and unfortunately he would not finish the race. A couple of laps later, and a little bit further up, Liam would have a very weird and indecisive moment as he decided very late on that he wasn't going to go into the pits. Jason was having a bit of a tussle with Ola, and unfortunately he didn't get through on this occasion. Jason would finish down in 10th place, getting his final point. Back at the front though, the two BMW boys would swap positions as Gazza managed to jump ahead of Andrew. A little bit further back, Adele and Liam were fighting very hard around turn 3 as they both went wide, but to both of their surprises, Ola crept down the inside and took both of them into turn 4. However, Liam wasn't having any of that as he had other ideas. Down into turn 1 would retake that place from Ola. At the pit stops, Adele had a very weird moment as his car suddenly darted into the pit wall on the right, meaning he would spin round left to recover into 6th place. Liam was pushing hard to catch 4th place Ben as he spun round at the end. But the winner lights the flag victory for Dominic, taking the sprint race victory. But there was more to come as the BMW driver Gazza slowed right down at the end to let his teammate through into P2. But Dominic took the victory ahead of Andrew and Gazza. Ben had a quiet race into 4th and Liam had an eventful race into 5th. Unlike previous weeks, we are going to go straight into the sprint race. So, let's see how this will unfold. On pole, we have got the Bentley of Adam, unfortunate in the feature race, but we also got alongside him Lance, who also didn't finish. Adele in the rough, followed by a strong drive from Ola, and then Jason in his Mercedes. Benjamin ahead of his teammate Tom this time, and then we've got the Audi of Bajny, I believe, and then Ben, Pren, Nick, or Dominic, Liam, and then it should be Andrew and Gazza making up the back of the grid. So, to the race. And the lights have gone out already. It's quite a quick start, and actually the rough, and Jason have got excellent starts. They're going to challenge whoever this is, Adam, into the first corner. It is late and I am very tired already, but we've got a race to watch and commentate over as there's contact into turn 1. A few drivers going off there. I think that was Ben and a couple of other people I saw, but Adam holding the lead around turn 3, creating a bit of a gap. Jason, good start as usual, up into 2nd ahead of Adele. A little bit of contact, bit further back into turn 1, but everyone's safely enough through. Let's have a little look at the replay. On board with Ola, you see Adele and Jason getting storming starts, and actually Ola makes a bit of contact with Lance and then gets forced off the track. Go on, man.
Yeah, no, just a bit of lag involved there, with Lance and Ola colliding, and then down to someone's a massive mess. Both dark horse racing Astons, the BMW involved, that's Andrew. Myself as well, as I try to go through the middle here with both Aston Martins. Let's see, we've got loads of lag there. Look, Benjamin's tagged the back end and into Ola, forcing Ola off the track there. And then we run down and we can see that Tom's holding the inside. He's braked quite early, and then chaos behind, back end of the Porsche, the rough, coming out. And then further contact with Tom as he tries to rejoin the track.
Yeah,
all a bit messy.
Now from the back of the grid we see, this is Gazza, I believe. You can get a good view of the whole situation, and
yeah, that's Andrew.
Three drivers abreast, and kind of squeezing in on everyone pretty much. I think the stewards have decided that it was too many variables in this situation to actually put the blame on any specific person.
It just seems to be a coming together of cars basically all trying to get into the corner at the same time, because you can see it's just unfortunate. I know Dom hits Tom, but then whether that's any bearing on the incident, I'm not sure. And then Ben and Benjamin seem to collide, and Lance gets as the innocent party. And then obviously here's Andrew backing off. You can see the flames as he backs out of it, and still can't avoid Benjamin. So it was basically messy, I think is the word for it.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it's not unusual for this circuit. Generally, there are quite a lot of accidents going in.
It's not unusual for the sprint race, if I'm honest, but it's just.
This is Jason. Potential jump start. Actually, the stewards have decided it will be a 5-second penalty at the end of the race, but Jason won't know that until after the race. So he's going to have to fight hard and try and just get as high up as he can, create a gap, really. But back to the live action, as Dominic in fourth has got actually a really good start, seeing as he started at the back. So already the majority of the work's been done for him with that big collision. As coming round the fast left-hander, probably a little brake maybe into that corner with a heavy fuel load.
Not really, just lift off, just a slight lift and back maybe down a gear. You can see Pren here getting attacked from all sides. Is that Gaz? Looks like Gaz going around the outside, a bit of contact.
Yeah.
Andrew up the inside, it's all good kicking off.
Yeah, the faster guys who started at the back are trying to work their way through, as Pren is now holding off the McLaren of, I think that's Lance. Maybe it might be Liam, but as everyone whoa, bang, explosion again. I do love that one.
Yeah, there's no doubt what's going on there at all. Next clip.
He's just like, hurry up, come on, there we go. He knows what I want, this guy. But into turn one, and I think that's Ben behind Dominic's putting the pressure on the Bentley driver, who won the first race quite comfortably, actually. Although his car was a bit battered up, so maybe it wasn't all as it seemed. Adele just ahead. Ben's going to try and hang it round the outside. Not quite going to be able to do it, but he's going to come back at the inside. Is he? No, not quite close enough. As Jason now holds the pack up. This is turning into a four-way scrap for second position, I believe. Yeah, for second, as Adam is clearing off down the track.
Yeah, I think we can pretty much forget Adam. He's disappearing at a vast rate now. But this is the battle for second. Like I say, Jay doing a great job. It's a real shame that he got the jump start penalty. Obviously, he's unaware of that at the time, but maybe he will know himself that he jumped the start. Yeah, it's always difficult. But as you can see now, Dominic trying to go around the outside of Adele, his nemesis. He really struggles to overtake. And was that contact? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, there is a little awkward bump on the track, so it could have been a little just correction maybe, but still, line astern coming into that stupid chicane.
Yeah.
And just behind it's Tom with the two BMWs hassling him. Was maybe a little bit of a corner cut there, but one of them's got through. Will the other one get through? And it doesn't help that they're always next to each other on the track, so you can't tell who's who.
I can.
I mean, you've got a blue visor and a white visor on the top of the cars, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's how I tell anyway. Gaz has got the blue sun visor and Andrew's got the white. That's my only way of telling.
Yeah, so this is Andrew taking the move on Tom now. Oh, they both ran wide. Will he hold it in? No, yeah, he doesn't quite dip a wheel on the gravel. Could have been catastrophic there if he did. But now we got Pren and one of the McLarens, both of the McLarens in fact, just behind. Will they make a move down the inside? No, Andrew's still having a look at Tom. Going to have his work cut out as Andrew gets a good exit. He's going to make this move stick quite easily. And now he's got the inside line for the next corner. Yeah, but just behind, there was a move by one of the McLaren drivers on Pren. But a bit further up now, back at second place. And Adele almost making it round. But in fact, there's a bit of contact between Dominic and Adele. Dominic's hit Adele into the turn 5 hairpin. And now they're coming side by side up into turn 7. He's forced him into the gravel. And now Ben's coming up. Will Ben be able to take a move down the inside? No, oh, he's made contact as well, has he? Or has he just lost the back end? I don't know, but it's got all kicking off. And now here comes the BMW of Gaza. Will they all breaking into the hairpin? Everyone's gone for the defensive line there. And well, that's going to allow Andrew to catch up and the rest of the field. Look at this train now. As this is not a replay. This is carrying on. I think the next lap maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely the next lap now. Dom's on to Jay. Jay's really going to have to defend hard now. If he wasn't before, he will now.
Yeah, I think that incident between Dominic and Adele was a bit of a sour situation.
Again, unnecessary.
Yeah.
I would have said.
And the stewards, I think, gave a penalty for that.
Yeah, they'd ruled Dominic in the wrong for that. It was pretty clear. He just rammed him up the back and tried to take the position, then kind of forced him off the track.
It was a 5-second penalty, I think. And
yeah, I believe it was. Yeah,
and a points penalty as well. Oh, Ben coming out of the hairpin all over the place, and he come across the track, hitting his teammate had nowhere to go, and that's going to cost both of them loads of places. Although Adele is still at the front of this train, Ben has lost about 4 or 5 places, so that's not good for his chances. As he's now dropped to the very back of this queue. And he's going to have all that work to do again after a good start to the race. But still, everyone bunched together.
The damage to both of us, and we know Gaza as well was involved in that, and he's got colossal damage himself. Again, just complete loss of control of his car, and then back onto the track, not ideal. And I think Ben received a warning for that himself. So, yeah, not great driving standards here today.
No, but the BMWs are both at it, hammer and tongue on this rough. It's a rough sandwich. No, it's a BMW sandwich even, which isn't the first time we've heard that this season. Near enough every race. Oh, Ben's going slowly. What's happened to Ben? Or is that just a bit of lag? No.
Yeah, I think a bit of lag there just completely stopped the car. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, someone in the wall. I think that was Andrew. It was as here. No, it's Gaza.
Gaza, yeah.
As the recovering Ben's trying to get past Ola as well. Ola holding both of them off. I think this is a replay. As BMW's run wide. Ben slows right down.
Yeah, the lag kicks in, stops the car, puts it in neutral, gives you a fresh set.
3 abreast into there. 3 abreast into there. Adele nudges Gaza wide. Not really much he could have done. He was in the middle of a BMW sandwich. So it's more of a racing incident than anything. But unfortunately, the BMW driver has come out worst. Oh, and into the wall. I didn't realise he got hit from Ola as well. So that's going to be a bit more damage.
Yeah, so we've got a few cars with damage now. We've got Ben, Adele, Gaza's got massive damage, Ola with massive damage. There's a few cars running slower than they should be now. Yeah,
and now this is what this sprint race is made for. To see all these guys mixing it together. You've got the faster guys trying to come through. And the guys who finished outside the top 5 trying to hold them off. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. I mean, contact maybe not so much, but in terms of closeness and the racing. Oh, someone's gone round.
That's Liam, I believe. Yep.
I mean, Liam seems to be a super quick guy, but having a bit of trouble with consistency at the moment.
I think he's got worst car for consistency, and here's the replay of his spin.
He done very well, actually, very well to get out of the way.
Yeah, loses the back end on turning. Pretty classic move for the McLaren, and around it goes.
Yeah, did well not to stall it, and then quick thinking to get out to reverse it back. Actually, most drivers probably would have floored it and caused a bigger crash.
Yeah, just seeing Gaza trickle down the pit lane, and it's a replay of that. Gaza's damaged too much to continue, so he'll have to pit.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he comes back out to maybe secure maybe a point at the end, but not very much time left in this race.
Well, the way everyone's fighting, the time they're losing, if he can whack in a load of fast laps now and maybe fastest laps of the race, then he can still be in contention. Here we have Tom, and it looks like, I believe that's Lance and myself there battling. think this is over about 5th place, I would say, 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because everyone's just changing positions every corner. But Lance is going to have a look, but he's not quite close enough. And really, probably try and line him up for the hairpin now. But Tom's got a bit of a worse exit. No. Oh, Ben's down the inside now. He's really forcing the issue there, making Lance either make a decision on going forward or backwards, basically.
Yeah, that was pretty close. You could see the flames come out of the rough there. He must have backed out of it because it looked very, very close.
Yeah.
Tom's very defensive. He keeps the place for now. Lance is going to switch back.
He has got through. Tom ran a little bit deep into that corner after taking the defensive line. Now, will Lance be able to get away before Ben gets through? He's having a look now. He's forcing the issue. Tom's had to take to the exit. Will he get around the outside though? He might have to surrender this position, but no, he's not. He's holding the line. Ben just about hangs it around the outside. Excellent move. Tom not given an inch, but has come out worse and has lost 2 positions on this lap alone. But we know Tom's a fighter and he will come back at this. Not going to let it lie.
Yeah, it's over for now though. Ben's got a position in turn 1. He'll try and chase after Lance, but remember the rough's a little bit damaged after the contact with his teammate. And look at Ola's car, look how slow it is down the straight. The McLaren doesn't even need a slipstream, straight past. And yeah, he's definitely struggling with the engine power he has, and Benjamin's going to get him as well by the looks of it.
Yes, big shame. He did so well in the feature race, and he's really struggling in the sprint race.
Yeah, this is the only problem with the sprint races. You can get caught up in accidents you wouldn't normally get caught out in because you're normally in your grid position and at the speed that you would normally be at. But that's the beauty of the sprint races, that you have these fights.
Yeah, and a little bit further back we've got Pren and Gaza. Is that Gaza with the blue?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Gaza's fighting back.
Gaza with the blue, trying to make his way back through the field. Pren having a bit of a quieter weekend to normal. Maybe struggling a little bit, but there's a McLaren there going slowly. I think I saw a bit of smoke as well, so maybe either a lock-up or a half spin. But Adele having a look around the outside, can't quite make it, but he's going to stay there. Oh, he's having a look down the inside of turn 6, 7 even. Not quite, but instead the McLaren is having a look at Ola. This is Liam in the McLaren just ahead. As he's been forced out wide, now Adele's going to have a chance. But no, he hasn't. McLaren's got such a greater straight line speed. There we go, got it out eventually.
Yeah, well, we know Ola and Adele have serious damage, so again, top speeds are compromised, and Ola's doing well to hang on for as long as he has, to be fair. But we know as soon as he gets to front straight, he has zero chance to stay in front. In fact, you'll probably see it here with Adele as well.
Yeah, as Adele just breezes through.
Here we go.
Back towards the front, and Jason's still in position ahead of Andrew. Andrew having a better race this one, or this weekend in general. I mean.
Yeah, it's a battle for 3rd place. Dom's into 2nd and a little bit in front of this battle. Adam's in a different planet altogether. We're on board with Andrew, as you can see.
Yeah, in the feature race, Gaza slowed right down at the line to let Andrew through. Do you know why that was?
Yeah, they had a gentleman's agreement, a bit like Red Bull at Monaco a couple of seasons back, where one decided to let the other go through and have a go, and then a switch back there, and that's Andrew past Jay. But yeah, they had a gentleman's agreement, and basically, if Gaza couldn't get past Dom, then they were going to switch positions back at the end. It looked like Gaza was ignoring it until literally right at the end, and I know Andrew was sweating over the decision, so eventually they came through.
Yeah, it literally was right at the end as well, wasn't it?
Pretty much couldn't have left it any later.
No. Yeah, so that was a bit of an interesting situation, especially for the guys that didn't know what was happening at the time.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. But we've got the McLaren of Liam, I believe, having a go at Benjamin. As Benjamin runs out wide, and he's going to have to surrender that place. A nice fade into the sunset there. I like that. That was nice.
Yeah, beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah, Liam's overtaken so many cars, he must feel like he's on the dual carriageway right now. He's been forward and back in this race so much. 2 spins and looked like another spin earlier on. For the same reason as the first one, just losing the back of the McLaren. Seems a bit tricky. But Dom now being closed down by Andrew, and Andrew's on a complete mission in this race.
Yeah, Andrew.
Some of his overtakes have been amazing this season, and maybe pull out another one on Dom.
Yeah, he hasn't got a win yet this season, champion from last season. But
yeah,
he has vastly improved throughout the season, as we noticed.
Dom was quite loose there coming out of turn 1, so that would have lost him a little bit of momentum. See the BMW closing in a straight line.
Yeah. But Jason not too far behind, so if anything does happen, Jason might be there to pounce.
Yeah, I mean, considering Jason's pace in the feature race, this is quite amazing what he's pulling here.
Andrew looks considerably faster than Dominic, and in fact he's all over the back. He couldn't quite get past turn 3.
He's carrying so much more corner speed, it's untrue. I think Dom maybe a little bit of damage where he hit Adele, do you think?
Oh, may well have, yeah.
Just to slow him down maybe a couple miles an hour on the straight, and it seems to be putting Andrew in the play on the straight bits as well as the corners. We know the M3 is probably the quickest through corners, so yeah, he's looking very racy.
Yeah, and Adam miles out ahead still.
Yeah, I was about to say, has anyone seen Adam?
He's not even been on a screen apart from when they focused on him.
Yeah, he's there somewhere.
Yeah.
You see him in this shot? No. Yeah, he's in a different planet. I think he's at the next race.
Yeah, I don't blame him, to be fair.
Yeah, it's hard to know with Adam what's going on at the moment. Obviously his connections are obviously a bit of an issue, but when he does finish races, his pace isn't the same as Dom's right now, and before the season you would have sworn that Adam would have beaten Dom. But
oh, this could be a chance as Dominic runs wide onto the gravel, gets it a bit out of shape, and now the BMW of Andrew is lining him up simply down the inside. Not an issue, just a matter of getting it stopped into turn 1, which shouldn't be too difficult for this guy. Not at all. Gifted the overtake there. There we showed patience does come in sometimes.
Yeah, that's twice we saw Dominic struggling with the last corner, so maybe he is carrying an issue.
Mm-hmm. There's Andrew's teammate Gazza's making a move on Ola and trying to have a look at Adele as well at the same time. Adele, as we know, is carrying a bit of damage. Gazza's on his recovery drive, so he's pretty fresh with new tyres as well around the outside. And he can't do that very often. Around the outside of turn 3.
Are there any questions? See you later, pal. I'm off.
Ola, having looked down the inside as well, forces through. And that's another position. Adele is clearly struggling here. Ola struggling as well, but both with damage. It's basically damage limitation, quite literally.
I'm really impressed with Ola this season. He's a fighter, but in a clean way. He doesn't get involved in any scraps, really. But here's Adam.
Yeah, Ola improving very much throughout the opening part of the season. But here's Adam, lights the flag. I haven't even noticed him all race, and he takes his second victory of the season ahead of a brilliant drive from Andrew. Excellent drive. Surely victories on the horizons ahead of Dominic, who just about cruised home in 3rd.
Yeah.
Good drive from Jason as well into 4th. Excellent start as per usual, but with the penalty, where would that put him?
A little bit behind Lance and in 5th, unfortunately, but still a great drive considering, like I say, his pace in the feature race. He really only finished the race and he stops.
Yeah, I didn't even notice Lance much throughout the whole video, to be fair.
And here's Tom with another last lap challenger, and this time it's Liam. So Tom can't seem to finish races by himself, he's always getting challenged. And then behind that we have a few others. That's Benjamin with Gazza catching Benjamin. What a race. What brilliant drive by Gazza. Good points for Benjamin. That's got him back on track.
Yeah, so Gazza actually managing to get a couple of points at the end.
He did well.
So, final results, Ben.
I don't have them.
You don't have them. Great. Neither do I.
Yes, well, we know it was a race win for Adam, which he fully deserves after a frustrating feature race where he lost the wheel, which is pretty careless. I think you agree.
Yeah.
Andrew, a fighting drive from the back of the field to get second place, avoiding all the carnage somehow. And that was a great result for him. I think it was a double podium over the weekend. So he found consistency as well as speed with his wheel. Dominic third, we think he had an issue. In fact, looking at his fastest lap, it was quite a way off. So he was the class of the field in the feature race. So you've got to presume he had damage. Jay, we know, finished fifth. So sorry, Lance was fourth. Great points for Lance. Again, I don't think he finished the feature race. I don't think he even started. So he had technical issues. Jay, like I could say, good race for him in fifth. Myself was sixth. After that massive spinning crash and damage and spinning and damaged and crashing. Tom seventh, Liam eighth, Benjamin ninth, Gaza fought back to 10th, so it was worth it in the end. He got a point.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do have the next round in Hockenheim, which traditionally is a very fast circuit, quite an on-the-limit sort of track. What sort of things are you expecting to happen from that?
Well, like I said, we're seeing that the BMW M3, the Guar boys, and Add-On Racing are really coming to the fore now with their cars. They seem to have found a way to set the cars up, and they're really pushing like their pace. They're pushing each other and finding pace. Where myself and Adele in the rough, we seem to have hit a plateau, and we can't seem to find any more out of the cars. So each race we're going beyond the limit to try and stay with these guys, but we're not going to give up. We'll see the McLaren guys up there. I would have thought, and maybe the Mercedes as well, and the long straight as well can keep in the battle. But yeah, it's all looking pretty good. I would say if I had to back someone, I'd say the Guar boys haven't driven the M3 around that track last season. It's on rails around that track. So that'll be it.
Sorry, say that again.
I said the Guar boys would be my tip for the race if it was me, because the M3 is on rails around that track. So that would be who I would back.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, to be fair.
Thanks.
Oh, nice. What a rarity. Anyway, so Adam with his second victory of the season. Some other midfield guys who started the season in midfield are starting to really challenge the front runners now.
Yeah.
And with a track that's pretty good for slipstreaming, anything could happen next week. So join us next week in Hockenheim. I don't know if I already said that. I probably have.
You might have mentioned it.
Yeah, it's late and I'm knackered. So I'm going to bed, and we will, maybe Lance will, I don't know, maybe not, if not Ben. Someone will see you next week.
Yay!
Yay! Good night.
Good night.